Thank you so much for watching today's show.
You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week. Luzerne County Manager Romelda Crocomo has announced that the county's ballot drop boxes will be restored for the November 5th general election. Crocomo previously decided to discontinue the use of the drop boxes in September due to safety and security concerns. The decision to restore the drop boxes came after Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry responded to Crocomo's request to
presented a plaque to the family of the late Francis Libinati, who inspired countless students in the area in his roles as coach, teacher, and administrator. Barletta said he was excited to be able to honor the late coach by naming the new league after him.
I was thrilled when I heard the idea. We're at a stage right now in our community where a lot of the youth programs are disappearing. For many years, Cal basketball and other sort of youth leagues, they've gone out of business. So there was a need for this. And then when he came up with the idea that this would be named after Fran Libinati, oh my gosh, that's a winner, because again, anybody who has ever had the privilege to know him, meet him, such a special guy, and what he lived for his whole life, sports, youth sports, education, that was what he did his whole life. I don't think there's anybody in my lifetime that has had a profound influence in the Hazleton Area School District as Fran Libinati has.
Libinati's grandson, Franklin Ritz, is senior at the Hazleton Area High School and attended the ceremony with his family. Ritz said his grandfather would have been pleased with the honor.
It's amazing because he always just the most active guy who'd always be willing to do anything, and I mean he would love just coming to me playing little guy basketball, little guy baseball, and he would come out and teach guys how to shoot, teach guys how to play. So all these kids around here, and I mean, I know he's smiling somewhere. That's for sure. He's definitely smiling.
The first-year program has 30 girls and 52 boys participating. Hazleton Area High School basketball coach Pat Brogan said the goal of the International League is to build skills and encourage sportsmanship in young players while giving them an opportunity to compete. As a former student of Libinati, Brogan said he was pleased to suggest naming the program after his late mentor.
He was always funny, he was always uplifting, always in a good mood, always joking, but he loves what he does. And when people love what they do, that passion comes out, and it's like a perfume. It goes all over people. And I think I definitely caught that perfume, and I hope that I could live my life, coach and teach, and just with a small morsel of how my life.
Brogan said another important aspect of the program is the involvement of high school students in teaching the youth.
The kids look up to the high school players, and they'll come to the games, and that's one thing we're trying to get the kids to. Once they buy in and they want to compete at this in the instruction, then they see the kids. Hey, I remember that kid coaching and teaching me. They go see him play at the high school, and they see the big crowd and hopefully success, and inspires them to work hard.
The league is made up of 8 elementary/middle schools and is hoped to be an annual program. Additional details have been released regarding a shooting in Wilkes-Barre on Sunday. According to officials, police were called to the scene of a reported domestic disturbance on Mayor Street. Upon arriving at the scene, officers discovered that the domestic disturbance had been between 43-year-old Omar Jermaine Reddit and his ex-wife. Officials say Reddit had then traveled a few street where he reportedly pulled a gun on police. According to officials, a gunfight then broke out and Reddit was shot times. Reddit later died from his injuries. Upon further investigation, officers discovered that Reddit's gun was a gun. Officers said it was not legally allowed to own a firearm due to his previous criminal history. The investigation into the shooting remains ongoing. The officer is placed on administrative leave is investigated.
Coming up on WYLN News, Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Lehighton, Part 4. Plus, check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's Weekly Update. And stay right here at WYLN. We'll be right back.
WYLN News brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network Express Care. Now open on the Airport Beltway in Hazel Township. Walk-in care 365 days a year for common illness and minor injuries. We want our WYLN Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN Media Posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN Facebook page. So make a video today.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we welcome you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. An extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, day low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Escapec,
Or downtown Hazleton,
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleep better with Grand Central.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor, crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, food on WYLN TV 35. FNL Doors, your trusted overhead door for over 50 years, providing quality products and services to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry garage doors from manufacturers in the industry like key parts and service for your home or business. From new construction to replacement doors, inspections, and service calls, FNL Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Their 344 door or visit FNL Doors online at fldoors.com. Showrooms in Hazel or Schuylkill Haven. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our podcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programs at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
With the outbreak of World War II, many of Lehighton's sons volunteered for service against the forces of fascism. One of these volunteers was Clarence Smoyer. Originally born in Perryville in 1923, Smoyer would join the 32nd Regiment, where he served as a gunner on the M26 Pershing tank, dubbed the Eagle 7 by its crew. The team would have its moment on March 1945 when it entered the city of Cologne, which had earned the reputation of being Hitler's fortress city during the Allies' final push into Germany. "Gentlemen, I give you Cologne. Let's knock the hell out of it," the unit's commander declared before the battle. And with memories of the comrades that had been killed in combat across Europe lines after they entered Germany, Smoyer and his brothers in arms were prepared to do just that. Once inside the city, the Eagle 7 was beat up with a dreaded German Panther tank in front of the cathedral. Known as the Monster, the Panther is powerful enough through multiple opposing tanks. This one had harassed any American troops it saw, but Smoyer's crew decided to take it on. They drove close enough to the Panther to be muzzle to muzzle with it, and in a 45-second encounter that was memorably caught on film, Smoyer fired 3 shots into the Panther that left it in flames. He would gain the title Hero of Cologne actions in destroying the powerful enemy. Before the encounter with the Panther, he had also fired on what he thought was a German army staff car driving through the battle zone into his path. In the heat of that, he thought he might have hit a woman in the car fatally, but dismissed it as likely a secretary or mistress of a German general. Decades later, after a civilian career that included a 40-year tenure with Wyln in Bethlehem, Smoyer finally got around to watching the footage of the battle at the cathedral. What he saw horrified him to the core. It had been a woman in the car, subsequently identified as Katharina Esser, and she was in fact merely a civilian that had been trying to flee the battle in the city. His possible culpability in her death would continue to haunt Smoyer for several decades afterwards. In 2013, Smoyer, hoping to find some peace of mind, Gustav Schaefer, who had been a gunner in another Panther tank in the two were to bury the wounds of war in the encounter. He had fired at Esser's car when he had also seen it. The two would remain friends afterward. After that, Schaefer would become the subject of the best-selling book Spearhead. In his last years, he would receive the Bronze Star for wartime service. He died in 2022 at age 99. Lehighton's would see the drive-in wave that was late 40s reach their area after they returned from the war. The Mahoning Drive-In was built in 1948 and opened in 1949, featuring a 120-foot screen. While many drive-ins have come and gone over the decades, the Mahoning has proved itself to be a survivor. And to those who visit it, a trip back in the past, one of the few surviving drive-ins to play movies off its original projectors on 35mm film. By the 1950s, Lehighton would also taste of the future of the automobile when the Mahoning Valley interchange of the Pennsylvania Turnpike's northeast extension opened to traffic in 1957, allowing Lehighton residents quick access to Philadelphia to the south and Scranton to the north. As the decade progressed, rock and roll took off, and a local boy got a chance to play with one of the greats. Denny Sywell had been born in Lehighton in 1943 and started playing the drums at age 8. He joined the Navy after graduating high school and performed in the Navy Jazz Band. After service, he went to Chicago, where he was tutored by ace drummer Roy Knapp. From there, it was on to New York City for Sywell and a job at the Half Note Jazz Club. It was New York where he would draw the attention of Paul McCartney, who was looking for musicians for a new band following the end of the Beatles. Liking what he heard, McCartney recruited Sywell as the drummer for his album Ram, and then afterwards invited him to be a charter member in Wings. Sywell will be the band's drummer for its Wildlife and Red Race. He was in the group's Bond film Live and Let Die. He would leave Wings in August 1973 due to pay disputes, and in good terms with McCartney. Sywell would go on to drum for many other major stars in the year that follows, including Art Garfunkel, Donovan, James Brown, and Billy Joel. The 70s would see the rise of a shift in retail, with businesses moving downtowns into malls and shopping centers. The Lehighton area would experience this shift with the opening of the Carbon Plaza Mall, Route 443, just west of town in 1972. Its anchors were a Lane Co. food store and a W.T. Grant department store. After the Grant's chain declared bankruptcy in 1976, J.C. Brooks department store moved its downtown location into the former Grant space, merging it with the chain's flagship Lansford store. Rice would close in 1995, entering over a service to Carbon County. Its space in the mall is currently operated by a Big Bad store and the Mahoning Valley Cinema. Other businesses have come in the mall over the years as time has marched on, but it remains as a bastion of commerce for the Lehighton area and
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined by Dr. John.
Hey Ryan, how you doing, big guy?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's always a pleasure to come here. But we're going to talk about, it's a reminder to listen to your body today.
I must tell people 20 times a day. Here's what I hear all the time. Doc, I'm lifting 10-pound weights and my shoulder's killing me. I'm doing better. And I tell them, listen to your body. If something is hurting you, stop doing it. I know it sounds weird, but stop, put ice on it, give it a week or two to heal, and then go back. So chiropractors feel that your body's always, we know how if we're thirsty, if we're tired, if we're hungry, but you have to really get in tune and make time to see what our body's telling me. Maybe go for de-stress. Maybe pray just to stop some anxiety, depression. So take the time to learn how to your body. Believe me, it speaks 1,000 times a day.
It really does. And I'd like to thank Dr. John for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales is a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 Scott Street in West Hazleton, 510-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. And follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. What's serious? There's only one health network with seriously innovative institute. Health Network Health deserves a partner.
State Hazel is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Provide degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Welcome back to Watra's Weekly Update. I'm joined as always here with State Representative Watra. Dean, how's it going today?
Very good. Thank you for having me back again this week. I just got back from Harrisburg after a long week and somewhat productive, I should say, I guess. Yeah.
Sounds like it's been a very busy week as always here. I know recently we talked about an upcoming project that's actually very exciting for the area, which is the Can Do project, which is a collaboration with the American Legion up in Freeland. It's a very nice way just for a lot of the students and kids in this community to get involved and help out a lot of the veterans in our area and get them access to stuff that they may have, or just as a way to really help them out in a really nice and beneficial way.
Right. Yeah. You said about getting the community excited and how exciting it is, and it's super personal and exciting for me as well. I was asked to join forces with Can Do. I'm excited about it. It's called Operation Can Do, and I just recently learned this operation at Can Do has been doing for 20 years. That's a long supplies and paper, or see on the news here with you. They're doing so much good for the community, and Can Do. My hats off to them and salute them. My daughter just brought today to her school. She attends a school in Hazleton Area School District, and she brought in crossword books for the military soldiers or airmen or whatever, Navy personnel. It's all branches of the military, and some personal hygiene products as well. So it's just such a good organization. I remember when I was deployed, just to receive a care package means so very much from people back home. So this is a project that Can Do, like I said, formed 20 years ago, and where my office is very excited to try to help out in any which way we could help them out. And how we're going to help them out, we're going to provide some addresses and units that are currently away here from the Commonwealth, and try to get them the goods and the supplies that they need, and just to have a package opened up around the holidays, which is fast approaching, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm a big Christmas fan, but I do miss my summer already too.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I honestly miss the warmer temperatures already here, halfway over here. But yes, it is really nice to see how we can have a program like this here, especially as Veterans Day is coming up within the coming weeks, and just expressing this very positive message of giving back to the people who do so much for us here in this country, and really showing how much we care about them in that way.
That's right. And for Can-Do stepping up to the plate and doing this for 20 plus years with the Freeland American Legion, it just goes to show how great our community truly is, and I sincerely mean that.
Absolutely. I know you mentioned earlier how you get a pretty busy week down in Harrisburg. I don't know if you want information about done.
Yeah, we're just, as the session closes out, people aren't really familiar like how this really works. But every 2 years, you start the whole cycle over again. So all the bills has to be done before December 1st. So December 1st is actually the start of a whole new season. So we have one more week left to go. And even if we pass something in the House of Representatives, it has to get to the Senate for approval there too, and then to the governor's desk, to the big man's desk for a signature there, and vice versa. If the Senate passes the bill, it has to get to the House, and then we have to pass it unanimously, or not unanimously, but we have to pass it and then get it to the governor as well. So with that being said, in the House, we have to, it has to be heard 3 times prior to the vote. So it takes some time. So not next week, the following week, we're going to be probably go ahead and closing out this session year, and hopefully get some good work done within those 3-4 short days that we're going to be in Harrisburg. So yeah, I'm super excited to go ahead and hopefully see some bills that's going to help Pennsylvanians.
Absolutely, definitely a lot of work to, especially at this moment right now where we're closing out this year's session. There's definitely a lot of things that have to be addressed here in this final meeting of the year. But yeah, hopefully it becomes very productive, and hopefully a lot of stuff gets done at this final session here.
We spoke about probably some very exciting news in the borough of Shenandoah. Hopefully next week I can bring back that information to you on potentially securing some big dollar grant for them. What Shenandoah needs it, and they deserve it. They do a lot of good work down there in Shenandoah and DSI. So hopefully next week we'll have a pretty big announcement to share with Wyln.
Hopefully so.
I appreciate you once again for always having me on and getting information out there to the people. Thank you.
Yeah, and we always appreciate having you on here. And as always, I want to thank Dane Watcher for joining us here on Wyln's Weekly Update. We'll see you next time.
Contact Pete Kasalika for a home and auto quote today.
WYLN TV on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507 at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi Comfort Specialist, call SJ Kowalski 570-45-2600. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Retail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.